Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So the English word order is like this: subject plus verb plus object. For example, Zayed ate a fish. So Zayed is the subject, ate is the verb, and a fish is the object. The Arabic word order is verb plus subject, and this subject has to be a doer, which we call fa'il in Arabic, plus object. For example, akala zaydun samakan, Zayed ate a fish. So Zayed is so in this Arabic sentence, akala is the verb which came first, and then after that we have Zayed, which is a subject, which is a doer subject. It does something, it does eating here. And then samak is the object. Okay. So in Arabic we will say tartibul alfazil Arabiyya. So the Arabic word order is al-fa'il plus al-fa'il plus al-maf'ul. The example is akala zaydun samakan. Zayed ate a fish. Yeah, as I explained here, akala is the fa'il which came first, and then Zayd is al-fa'il and samakan is al-maf'ul. So in English, the subject comes before the verb. As you can see, the subject is Zayed and it came before the verb ate. Whereas in Arabic, the verb comes before the subject, which is the doer subject. So if you look at this Arabic sentence, akala zaydun samakan, akala is the verb and it came before its subject zaydun. So the verb comes first in the Arabic sentence. Okay, let's look at some more examples of this kind. قرأ زيد كتابا. قرأ خالد كتابا. Let me highlight. So قرأ خالد كتابا. Khalid read a book. So in this English sentence, the subject Khalid came before the verb read. Whereas in this Arabic sentence, قرأ خالد كتابا, the verb قرأ came before the subject Khalid. The next example, سمع أسامة خطبة. Usama read a lecture. So in this English sentence, the subject Usama came before the verb read, heard, before the verb heard. And in this Arabic sentence, the verb sami'a came before the subject Usama. The next example, Fataha Ibrahimu baban. Ibrahim opened a door. So in this English sentence, the subject Ibrahim came before the verb opened. Whereas in this Arabic sentence, Fataha Ibrahimu baban, the verb Fataha came before the subject Ibrahim. The next example, Hafidha Ismailu hadithan. Ismail memorized a hadith. In this English sentence, the subject Ismail came before the verb memorized. Whereas in this Arabic sentence, the verb hafiza came before the subject Ismail. The next example, Ra'a Rafiqun Rawdatan. Rafiq saw a garden. So in this English sentence, the subject Rafiq came before the verb saw. Whereas in this Arabic sentence, the verb Ra'a came before the subject Rafiqun. Okay. The next example, Dhabaha Nabilun Ma'izan. Nabil slaughtered a goat. So in this English sentence, the subject Nabil came before the verb slaughtered. Whereas in this Arabic sentence, the verb Dhabaha came before the subject Nabil. And then the next example, Kataba Bakrun Talaban. Bakr wrote an application. So in this English sentence, the subject Bakr came before the verb wrote. Whereas in this Arabic sentence, the verb Kataba came before the subject Bakrun. The next example, Nasara Sharifun Sadiqan. Sharif helped a friend. So in this English sentence, the subject Sharif came before the verb. Whereas in this Arabic sentence, the verb Nasara came before the subject Sharif. The last example, Ghasala Habibun Haqibatan. Habib washed a bag. So in this English sentence, the subject Habib came before the verb washed. Whereas in this English sentence, in this Arabic sentence, the verb Ghasala came before the subject Habibun. So what we learned today is that in English, the subject comes first and then the verb comes. On the other hand, in the Arabic, the verb comes first and then the subject or its doer comes. As we have seen in this structure, ترتيب الألفاظ العربية, the Arabic word order, first you will put a fa'il and then a fa'il. Fa'il is the verb, fa'il is the subject. And then you will put a maf'ul. If you look at these examples, you will see every single sentence has a verb and a subject and an object. A fa'il, a fa'il, and a maf'ul. So akala zaidun samakan. Akala is the fa'il, and then zaidun is the fa'il, the one who does it, and samakan is the maf'ul. Okay, so Zaid ate a fish. So Zaid is the fa'il, al-aklu akala is the fa'il, and samakan is maf'ul. And you can understand all these examples in the same way. For example, qara'a Khalidun kitaban. Khalid read a book. So qara'a is al-fi'lu, Khalidun is al-fa'ilu, and kitaban is al-maf'ul. And you can understand the remaining example in the same way, inshallah.